Why did you change?
Depends which change you're talking about. I'm thoroughly confused these days. They're all talking about the big change, whereas in fact I've kind of been changing for the last couple of years steadily, so which one exactly?
Well, the one we're talking about really is here, the very young audience, right? Have you left them behind and decided you got to aim your music at an older age group?
To a degree, I don't think I've abandoned them, because there's still some of them turning up to my shows and, you know, over the moon to see me in the street, and I don't really want to abandon them either, because they're a very important, strong audience. But I certainly have moved in a direction that I'm pleased with, and it's been 4 years that I've been doing this now, so first of all, I think if I hadn't changed at all, no one would be interested in me anymore anyway. If I was still doing exactly what I was doing 4 years ago, then I probably wouldn't be working.
Well, what's your answer now to some of the tabloids have sort of said that your stage show and that is heading towards the raunchy side? What's your answer to that? I mean, surely that's not aimed at young people. Too young.
Well, the young people that have been at the show have still enjoyed it, and I don't like to be in the position where I'm defending my show. The tabloids like anything that's sensational, anything that's going to sell them papers. They still put me on the front of the paper, and I'm sure it sold very well for them. And they've really made a comment on what I look like, not really the content of the show, which is an hour and a half. It's got material from 4 of my albums, and it's still a really fun show.
What about control? When it comes to writing, producing and marketing, how much control do you have over the way your career is going?
Oh, a lot of control at the moment, and I guess in the beginning I really had very little control, so it's nice to have that now. But
well, who picks the singles, for instance, that are going to be released?
Well, funnily enough, I'm just trying to get in touch with Pete Waterman today to get him thinking about the next single. I like to know what he thinks. I like to know what my publicity, what my promotion people think. I like to ask people on the street. I ask my friends. I ask everybody and just see what they think, and of course, see how I feel and what I think will do well next.
What'll be a hit?
Yeah.
Your younger sister Danny's going through what you went through a few years ago. Have you told her to watch out for anything in the music business?
I don't really have to be specific with her, because she's seen what goes on, and I'm sure anyone can see, just as we're talking about the press at the moment. I mean, the whole machine goes in a circle, and she's fully aware that people can love you one day, hate you the next day, and then next week you're like, our Kylie or our Danny, you know. So she's been in the business for long enough to know.
2 years ago you starred in the film The Delinquents. Have you any future plans for acting?
Nothing definite at this stage. I would love to do another film, but I just haven't had time. And since I don't have much time, when I do decide on a film, it will have to be the right film with the right people. But I would hope next year, although I've been saying that for a long time.
Have you been offered scripts or anything?
Oh yeah, yeah. But as I say, I just want the perfect role. And at the moment, the perfect role for me would be something in a comedy, perhaps a romantic comedy.
What about the soaps now? There's a lot of people coming out of soaps with singles, constantly, even on their own, on the Irish side, with Glen Rowe, they even brought out a record. What's your views on all that?
Good luck to them, I say.
Do you think it's
I'm
unfair?
just glad that I was one of the first ones to do it.
Do you think it's unfair in that they've got a launch pad, which other people
No,
wouldn't
I
have?
don't think it's unfair. I know that, well, I've been through that myself, you know, particularly in Australia. Most people, to be successful, you're in a pub band or something like that, and you're working for years before you get a break. And so for some little upstart to come from a soap opera and have a #1 for 7 weeks, it's probably not going to make them too happy. But then again, you still have to work, and I've had to work for 4 years to gain some credibility and some respect in the industry.
The pop business at the moment seems to be a fairly fickle one. We've got people arriving and disappearing extremely quickly. What plans do you have to make sure you're still singing in 10 years' time?
Don't know if I will be still singing in 10 years' time. I don't really have a plan that far in advance. The music industry, the faces in TV, everything's constantly changing, so I don't think you could, you know, have a guarantee of being around in 10 years' time.
Well, best of luck with the Kylie, and thanks a million.
Thanks a million. I love when the Irish say that. You all say it, you know.
Thanks a million?
Yeah.
Do we?
Mm.
That's just a habit, you know.
I like it. Thanks a million.
Between